Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Anita Baker, a specialist in eminent American jazz and soul artist, has set up a good foundation for herself as a refined craftsman all through her profession, starting around 2024. Her total assets stand at a noteworthy $10 million. Baker Specialist's melodic radiates through her enrapturing tunes, especially her heartfelt R&B numbers, which have resounded with crowds overall. Baker Specialist left on her melodic excursion in the late 1970s as an individual from the funk band Section 8 anyway. It was her choice to seek after a performance vocation that genuinely pushed her into the spotlight in 1983. She delivered her presentation solo collection, denoting the start of an exceptional solo vocation that would harden her status as a music symbol. One of Dough Puncher's significant leaps forward accompanied the arrival of her second collection, Bliss, in 1986. The collection accomplished platinum status, catapulting Dough Puncher higher than ever of notoriety. Furthermore, recognition of the deep tunes and genuine verses reverberated profoundly, with audience members laying out Bread Cook as a driving figure in the music business throughout the long term. Anita Bread's ability has been perceived with various esteemed honors. She's been the beneficiary of a few Grammy grants, a demonstration of the excellent nature of her work. Moreover, Cook's collections have accomplished surprising business achievements with different platinum certificates and one gold certificate. These accomplishments feature not just the craftsman's unprecedented ability, yet additionally the getting-through allure of her music. Anita Cook was brought into the world on January 26, 1958, in Toledo, Ohio. She confronted early difficulties when her mother deserted her at the young age of 2. Subsequently, Dough Puncher was raised by a non-permanent family in the dynamic city of once more, Detroit, Michigan. Misfortune struck at the point when her new parents died at the point when she was only 12 years of age anyway. Her assenting sister stepped in to give the consideration and backing that Baker Specialist required during this troublesome time, regardless of the difficulties she confronted. Bread Cook tracked down comfort and asylum in her remarkable vocal gifts. By the age of 16, she had proactively started spellbinding crowds with her profound interpretations of R&B music at different clubs across the clamoring city of Detroit. It was during these exhibitions that destiny interceded. As gathering pioneer David Washington found her fantastic voice and perceived her true capacity, Washington, intrigued by Cook's ability, stretched out a challenge to try out for the band. Part 8, denoting a huge, defining moment in her life. In 1975, Bread Cook authoritatively joined Section 8, leaving on another part of her melodic excursion. The bunch visited widely enthralling crowds with their zapping exhibitions, perceiving the Baker Specialist's monstrous ability and star quality. Arola Records offered her a recording contract. 1979 Part 8s, a self-named first collection, displayed Dough Puncher's vocal ability, including the hit single Prepared for Your Love, an enamoring two-part harmony with Gerald Ly anyway. Regardless of the underlying achievement, the tides of fortune moved when Arola Records was procured by Arista Records soon thereafter. Unfortunately, Arista Records dropped Part 8 from their mark, referring to an absence of star potential in Baker Specialist, with her fantasies apparently broken. Baker Specialist got back to her old neighborhood of Detroit, where she took on the jobs of assistant and server to make closes meet anyway. Life had more shocks coming up for the tough craftsman in 1982. Otis Smith, a previous partner from Arola Records, drew near Cook and urged her to leave on a solo vocation under his recently framed record name Beverly Glenn. Dough Puncher seized the open door and delivered her presentation solo collection. The songstress in 1983, the collection exhibited her remarkable range and close-to-home profundity, resounding with crowds. The country over 4 noteworthy singles arose out of this collection, including Will You Be Mine, No More Tears, Your Really Great Thing Yet, and Holy Messenger. Among these tracks, Heavenly Messenger turned into a moment hit, arriving at the best 10 and peaking at number 5 on the R&B diagram, withstanding the achievement. Baker Specialist confronted at this point one more testing difficulty as she claimed that she didn't get any eminences for her still up in the air to recover her creative liberty. Cook tried to disavow Otis Smith and Beverly Glenn Records anyway. Her journey for freedom prompted a fight in court as she regarded herself as entangled in a claim for break of agreement, later long stretches of judicial actions. Dough Puncher Arisen, successfully winning the claim against Smith and acquiring the opportunity to investigate new open doors with other record marks, following the legitimate triumph. Dough Puncher endorsed with Elektra Records, a renowned mark under the Warner Music Gathering umbrella. This stamp a new beginning for the strong craftsman as she left on the formation of her next collection, anxiously expecting the imaginative potential outcomes that lay ahead in Walk 1986. Anita Cook's transient ascent to worldwide fame arrived at its climax with the arrival of her second collection, Happiness, while the collection's introduction, Single Tread, carefully neglected to make a huge effect on the diagrams. At first, it was the mid-beat number Sweet Love that feline-ped Cook into the popular music stratosphere. The profound burial chamber moved to number 8 on the lofty board, Hot 100. All the while entering the UK Top 20 furthermore, cementing Bread Cook's status as a worldwide sensation. The outcome of Happiness didn't stop there as 3 additional hit singles Gone with the Same Pattern got up to speed in the Satisfaction standard, Worn Out Adoration 365 Days Per Year, and Nobody on the Planet Baker's astounding ability procured her a merited Grammy Granite. 198.7 for her joint effort on Ain't Number Need to Stress by the Winans, resolute by her past accomplishments. She kept on enthralling crowds with her third collection, Giving You the Best That I Got, delivered in the ensuing year. The collection was a moment win, soaring to the highest point of the Bulletin 200 and selling an amazing 5 million duplicates overall. The title track arose as the apex of Dough Puncher's grafing achievement, getting the number 3 position on the announcement Hot 100 while guaranteeing the best position on both the R&B and, furthermore, grown-up contemporary music graphs. One more hit single in light of the fact that took off to the highest point of the R&B diagram while leading me into adoration. Serenely settled into the R&B top 10, Giving You the Best That I Got. Not just denoted Baker Specialist's solitary pop collection to arrive at number 1 in the US yet, in addition, accumulated her 3 Grammy grants and 3 Soul Train music grants, setting her status as a melodic stalwart. Dough Puncher's series of wins gone on with the relentlessly of arrangements in 1990 as she capably integrated jazz components into her collection. The collection brought forth a few fruitful singles, including Soul Motivation Fantasies, and Converse With Me in the wake of finishing up limited-time exercises for the collection in 1991. Cook took a brief break from the business side of her profession anyway. She made a victorious get-back to the diagrams in 1994 with Cadence of Adoration, which highlighted her most memorable top 40 pop hit in years, Body and Soul. The collection's second single, I Am Sorry, further established her prosperity by acquiring Bread Cook her 8th Grammy Award-winning song, Mood of Affection, which turned into her 4th sequential platinum-affirmed collection in a huge achievement. Anita Baker Specialist accomplished gold accreditation for the first time in her profession with the arrival of My Beginning and End toward the end of 2004. The collection took off to number 4 on the board 200 and asserted the main right on the money. The R&B graph Bread Cook proceeded to release outstanding collections incorporating Christmas Dream in 2005 and a noteworthy front of Tyresa recently in 2012, which accumulated huge airplay on contemporary grown-up radio in acknowledgement of her famous lifetime. Bread Cook was respected with enlistment into the Michigan Rock. What's more, Roll Legends Corridor of Distinction in 2013 anyway. In Walk 20,121, a question emerged among Baker Specialists and Elektra Records concerning freedoms to her unique accounts as indicated by intellectual property regulation. Cook accepted that the freedoms ought to return to her upon the lapse of her contract. Accordingly, she encouraged her given fans to abstain from buying or, on the other hand, streaming her music until the matter was settled. Fortunately, in September 2021, Baker Specialists reported that the debate had been effectively settled and she had recaptured responsibility for unique accounts. Anita Baker's impact and gifts reached out past the studio as well. In 2022, she had the pleasure of playing out the Star Radiant pennant at Philadelphia's Lincoln Monetary Arena before the NFC Finals conflict between the Birds and the San Francisco 49ers spellbinding crowds with her strong version. Besides, in 2023, Drifter magazine recognized Bread Cook's exceptional vocal capacities by positioning her 92N on their lofty rundown of the 200 biggest artists of all time, and with all the achievements she has accomplished, she additionally possessed innumerable significant land properties that we will discuss. Later, house in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan, starting around 1993. Anita Baker, a specialistess, made her home in a pleasant waterfront property arranged in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan, settled on the shores of Lake St. Clair. This noteworthy 7,000-square-foot home has turned into her confidential safe haven. The house, developed in 1987, features a masterful block outside and is joined by an extensive three-vehicle garage situated at 2 Evade Place.